What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. I hope everybody's having a great day. Folks, we're probably not going to have tomorrow's or Friday's hangout due to the fact I'm still trying to get 100%, breathing with the lungs, the whole 9 yards. So I'm guessing I'm right around 80%. So I just want to be cautious and take my time. Now, I am looking forward to the next one. There should be one next Friday. However, I'm not going to promise that. I'm just saying that right now, I'm feeling better, so we're hoping that we can get much better, so next Friday shouldn't be an issue, okay? All right, folks, if you're not convinced that the Perseverance rover, just like the Curiosity and all the other rovers before it, like the Spirit and Opportunity and Sojourner, if there's any doubt, if you're on the fence about are they there really for a recon mission, and was there a civilization on Mars, this is going to change the way you feel if you're on the fence. And in my opinion, I think you guys are going to say, wow, this is just really cool. The amount of stuff that's hidden in this photo is pretty much ungodly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you first things that stuck out for me in the regular photo and the lines that are in these rocks. And then we're going to go to the full enhancement and I'm going to show you what I found. And I think you guys are going to say, wow, this is really a cool photo. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it, shall we? Okay, here's where you can find it. Mars Perseverance, Sol 187, front right, hazard avoidance camera. And you look right here, it's from August 29th. So we're talking a few days ago. So this is pretty much the latest, one of the latest photos, right? Here it is here. Okay, of course you can download it. It's a PNG, which is pretty decent. So just click on that and just grab it. All right, so let me jump right into Photoshop. Here's the photo. I'm going to show you again first what caught my eye, right? Now I'm going to go ahead and get the goofy color off of this. Okay, here's a couple of things right off the bat that caught my eye. Here. And some of the lines on this rock. Let me go ahead and just zoom in a little bit more here for you. Okay. When you see these lines, like in this particular rock, you can see it doing like just weird little lines. You'll see that once I get into this a lot more, you're going to see this. And there's just no way these are rocks. These, I believe, these are been covered up anomalies. This item on the very left, we'll zoom into that a little bit more. This item here. Now, I want you guys to take a good look at these two items. Now, first of all, they're not the clearest, but I'm going to bring that out a little bit better. Now, you have to ask yourself this question, including this piece here. Are these natural? Well, clearly that's not. This looks like a piece of machinery of some sort. Now, you have to ask yourself this question. Are these all single pieces? Well, let's have a look. If you look carefully, you can see this coming down like this. There's a line doing this, going off to this other piece. Coming down, you can just see it here. So they try to make these look like they're separated, but they are not. So are they one big piece? Let's get into a little bit more of this. These items like this here. Okay. Something right here. I'm not sure what to make of that. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, folks. Let's get on the other side of the tool head here. Now, what really got my attention was this back here, and you would think that wouldn't be the first thing. But what kind of got me was this here, where it looks like a small, lighter pipe type thing, and what looks like these two circles right on the side of each other, right? You can see that. Now, as I looked at this area, I'm seeing these straight lines going across, right? Of course, that's not going to be super straight because I am doing it freehand. Here's what's cool. Now, I thought maybe that these might have been like small wispy dunes, okay? But as I decided to burn this whole area, I noticed right here, and you can see this really darn good, right here, it appears to be half round circle, right? You can see that right here. And I'm going to go ahead and outline it. Right there. You see that? Pay attention to the lines. There's also something that's doing this. Here. Okay, what looks like two circles. We have this area here. What looks like almost like a square piece type thing with a circle. And something smack dab in the center of it. Now, this rock is pretty unique. This area on this rock alone, right here, I can see an outline doing this. Okay? Goes like this. Looks like it goes like that. Comes down. We can see some other little pieces in here. Do you guys see that? Right here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. I don't want to go in too close because then it'll distort it. Look at the actual lines in this here. You can see it's half covered, half not. You see the whiter piece of this so-called rock here. The one to the right of it, right here. What is going on there? Also, take note of the smaller pieces in the back. Okay? Something right here almost looks like it has a like pinkish color. If you see these items in the back there? Pretty cool, right? Okay, let's bounce over to here. This is where it gets really, really interesting as well. Just look at some of the parts back here, folks. This one, it looks like it has a cutout with a round piece on it, with another round piece on top of it. And just look at this area. Look at this. This one right here. You can see where it's like squared off, where they try to cover this a little bit, and it looks like it has an opening to it and something sticking out of it. And all of the other little things in between, folks, look at this. Like, you can see these pieces doing this, branching off. This item up here in the top left. I love the lines in this rock. This is funny. Look at this. This rock right here. Check this out. Now, call me silly. I've never seen rocks that actually look like that. And folks, this is just the tip of the iceberg, what I'm showing you. There's so much more in this photo. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go right to the full enhancement. And I'm going to show you this. And I think you're going to be blown away. Okay. For starters, this rock right here. I love the way this thing looks because the way there's something in that. It almost looks like, because obviously it's gold. So is it a piece of shaped gold or something like that? You can see that in here. It's actually there. The only thing I did was just brought out the lines and just brought the item out much better, right? As I said about this rock, check these out. You have the one on the left, right here. You have these shapes inside this rock. Okay? And like I said, are they really there? Now, you can use the burn tool, but in this application, most of the time, mid-tones are the way to go. Okay? Because it just brings out the line so much better. Now, if you want to go back over it with the burn tool, you can do that. But the mid-tones is what you really want to use. Now, this shape alone, and we see this quite a bit in here. And, of course, you can see all these other little pieces on top of that. Here's another interesting thing. If we just drop back down just a hair bit, we got what looks like a little pipe sticking out right here. Right there. And we have this cutout piece right here. Now, I don't know if that's the way they drew that and put obfuscation over that, but nonetheless, you can see that. Let's go up a little bit. This is what I was talking about, these pieces here. Okay? You can see this, just like the one on the bottom I just showed you. And we have this other straight piece that does this. Coming down like this here. But they do actually connect. You can see that coming down off of that. Okay? When I go back to this, you can still see that line right here going back and forth. Now, some people will criticize the fact that I use lines. That's to help, show what I'm seeing here so they can get a better idea what they're looking at. Now, they may see things a little bit differently, and that's okay, but this is the reason why I do the lines, Everybody has their own way of doing things, folks. Now, you can see this thing is connected with this one. And it may also include this piece here. Not sure. All right, let's jump over to this up and to the right. Check out these pieces here, folks. Just a little pieces hiding here and there. What look like mangled metal. Just different pieces all over the place. All right, this is where it gets cool. I'm going to just do this real quick. Go back to the original. And again, this is what caught my eye. And again, I didn't see this till I started to burn this area. And this is cool. After burning this, I can tell that this is a top of something, and they put this here to block this whole item, okay? And you can see this down here, which you can see in the original. You can still see that right there. We've got all these lines, which I did bring out, and we have this top of this item. Not sure what this is, but you can see that. And again, once it was enhanced, this side was just as big as the other side as far as them dark holes. See that? And again, check this piece out. This piece kind of threw me for a loop at first. This right here I thought was really, really interesting. Check this out. It looks like some kind of opening. And what they do is they painted this rock into this to kind of mess with the eyes a little bit. I think, in my opinion, that's an entrance. And you're going to see right now, check that out. Now, I've said this more than once, folks. This right here, all this area, yeah, I believe like this back piece, and you can see that's a little bit different looking now too, is that if they didn't cover this whole back, you would see this thing much taller, and you would see all of these things actually are littered all over the back of this. I mean, it's literally all over the place. We have this piece here. I'll put that right in the middle for you guys. Just back it up a little bit. Right there. And again, we have this, and this is just really interesting. And I'm going to put it to black and white in a little bit so you guys can see it. Now, is it possible that just you know, material in front of that exploded in front of this opening? Great possibility, right? Notice this pink block in the back. Other pieces like this here. Now, let's jump over to the right. This is just as interesting because, check this out. Again, just bringing out the lines. Okay? All of these weird things. And you've got what looks like this area or a line in the sand. And that was just using the midtones, folks, and I brought that out. Again, here's that other little piece here. I showed you before we got into this. This one on the lower right. And folks, it's all over the place. I mean, just look at some of the stuff that is scattered all over this. Got this piece here. We have what looks like different pieces, like framework or some kind of parts. I don't know what to make of that. Piece here. Other small pieces. Like I said, these here. Looks like one circle here or like light dot type thing. This looks like a half a circle here. This rock looks a little weird. Doing this. Looks like some kind of weird, almost like square cutout in that. And like I showed you, this rock right here, come on. You know they're manipulating and obfuscating these objects to make them look like rocks. Here's a perfect example of it. I mean, it doesn't become much more evident than that, right? What looks like a square piece on the ground here, and it's very faint right there. Now, let me show you this in black and white. All right, so you can see this pretty well. Again, this piece right here, this piece right here, whatever this item is, I believe the body of it is in this manipulation. You can see again here. This item again looks like some kind of a tunnel. And you can see this other line, which is really bizarre, just above it. You can see right here doing this. And it is in fact in the photo, folks. Check this out. You can see it right here. See that? And again, I'm convinced that this is some kind of entrance. And because they put this, what looks like supposed to be the ground, it covers up what this really is. So it's hard to tell, but it looks like it goes inside. Here's another weird looking couple. Here's another couple of weird looking things right here. You've got this piece in the back. I circled this to begin with. You can see it doing this. And you can see what looks like these kind of rib kind of thing going on there. This rock is the one I showed you earlier, this so-called rock. I believe it's either melted something or other, some kind of junk that's been thrown around, and they tried, the way they tried to blend it, it makes it look like one rock. And again, you can see these things pretty darn easy. Almost looks like an H sitting right there. Look at that. But you can see that. And there's multiple pieces in this. You can see the way this thing's right there. This comes down. Again, we have this kind of piece like this. Come on, folks. And it's crazy that people still see rocks and nothing more. Like I said, I just kind of feel bad for them. Like, how do you not see this stuff? It's plain as day. But you have to dig into these photos in order to find these little details that make everything come out. Now, if we move to the back of this, and do this, right here, you can see what looks like something doing this, coming down. Okay? But this is what I mean by this, folks. What looks like the ground from here up is nothing of the sort. It's actually things laying all over the place. They're just filling this in and trying to go over what's really laying here, okay? But you can see that pretty darn well. All right, now let's go back over to this side. Do a little more enhancement. And you can see more of these lines coming out. I'm going to bring a couple points up in a moment. Something square right here. You can see that right there. Okay, and then of course they try to cover it up with all this BS right here. It makes you wonder, what is sitting here? Is it a bunch of little structures that have been mangled? Because clearly you can see the ground was cut out for this. So what was here? Was it a bunch of structures? Was it a bunch of machinery? It's really hard to tell. And look at this item right here. These two items right here, I should say. Notice how this one's doing this here. See the space in between them. And of course this piece. Now, here's an interesting point. Notice how the Rover didn't go anywhere near it. Right here, you can see the wheel marks. Right there and right here. But it stopped right there. It didn't continue to go over here. I wonder why. Just keep in mind that this Rover can go over here, use the turret arm, and just look over this whole mess. It doesn't have to literally drive into it. So it can get a pretty good, look at what's on the ground there, right? Here's the other thing. A lot of people ask for scale. Well, a lot of times you can't get it. However, in this one, you can see the wheel, which is like, I believe it's the same thing as the Curiosity, is its 20-inch wheel. And I'm going to tell you right now, my guesstimation from this tool head to over here, I don't think it's more than 6 to 10 feet. Now, I'm saying this because if you look at this so-called rock that's under this, which I don't believe that's a rock either, I think they're drilling into it to find out what the steel is, not a rock. But you can see it's on the ground. And again, we can look at these 20-inch wheels. Now, if you were standing right in front of this, because keep in mind, the actual bed of this thing is right there at the top right. Okay, 20-inch wheel. I mean, how far do you think that is from this wheel over to here? It's not very far, folks. So it gives you some kind of scaling. So it makes you wonder what these things are. To me, it looks like machinery scattered all over the place. That's what it looks like to me. And there you go, folks. Folks, I'm absolutely convinced that every rover and every lander that's ever been on Mars is due to a recon mission. It's to see what's left over from a civilization that was on Mars. It's as simple as that. And I think if more people dug into these photos, they would see the things that I'm seeing. You can see shapes on these rocks. Clearly, they're not rocks. You can see that. It's pretty evident. We can see by bringing the lines out that are already in the photo and they didn't fully take out, we can see things in there that is hidden. Now, a lot of people do a lot of this research and they say, well, and they'll show the most obvious. I like showing the obvious, but I want to dig and find out what's really in these photos. And that's what this channel is all about. Not only is just the obvious, and some of you guys will say, man, you missed this, it's so obvious. Well, this channel is dedicated to looking for things that are not that obvious, and that's being hidden in the photos. That's what's cool, because you don't know what you're going to find in here. I'll be honest with you guys, that middle of that photo, I didn't even expect to see that. I didn't even expect to see it at all. But there it is, right? Anyway, guys, tell me what you see. Tell me what you think. Drop your comments down below. Don't forget to like and share. It is appreciated. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that YouTube will share it. And like I said, folks, there will not be a hangout tomorrow, Friday, only because I'm just trying to get back up as far as lung capacity. And it's going to be a little hard to talk. You know, we talk quite a bit on these hangouts, so that might be a little too much for me right at the moment. I am looking forward to possibly next Friday. I will let you guys know again through the videos. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Always appreciated. And we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.